Hello, everybody, and good morning from Australia. Good afternoon in North America. Good evening. Some of you are close to evening. Hello for day two. I am so excited, and I got so much fun stuff to share with you right now. Just in case you're joining just the first time coming in here, I know we've had lots of new people coming in, which is so beautiful. Today, I really want to talk about this quantum leap. Braun. Oh, that's great. Sorry, I didn't know what that was, Alicia. Alicia, you're going to love this stuff. Okay, so I'm going to talk, and I talk about manifestation, but I haven't really brought it into a lot of the things I do. And I'm going to start bringing it in because it is everything. I have been manifesting my entire life, as you all have, and I was doing it unconsciously. Now we're doing this consciously. Now I understand what things happen, how they fall apart. I understand when life feels really tough. I understand that we are the cause and the effect of every experience we're having in our life. I understand why some things don't come right away because you're holding on. You are gripping on so tightly to the money or the clients or life or the man or whatever. Okay, I understand what it means to quantum leap. I'm in it. I am, oh my gosh, I got goosebumps up my entire body. I am in a full quantum leap right now. Do you understand quantum leaps? First of all, just make sure that I know Alicia does because she does quantum. I know Tracy does. Camilla, do you understand this language? I'm sure you do.
To an extent, I've actually just started I stumbled upon it probably the last month. Yes, I'm
Great.
getting familiar with it. Yeah.
I love that you're a beginner at it because you're really going to learn so much, especially after starting quitting your job and coming into your own business. This is where you can absolutely have everything you desire. And just so everyone knows, I mean, I'm going to share what's been going on, but this isn't just about when I look at my life, right? This is all about expansion. And I'm not just building a business anymore. I am building a life. And yesterday I shared these moments, right, that shaped me. But what matters more is who I'm choosing to be. Let that land. Who I am choosing to be. Not when someone told me to be. Not what you think you're supposed to be. Not something that you were in the past. You let that go. Who are you choosing to be right now? Because your past doesn't define your level, your current decisions that you're currently doing. Okay. Your current shift is happening right now, right? And the life that I'm building is so I can create more impact in the world, so I can help more people and women understand this work. People that maybe understand manifestation, but really don't. You don't understand that there are laws of the universe. And when you go against them, you will struggle. You will get the opposite of what you want. But when you're in flow and you know exactly what you want, it comes. Does it come easily? Sometimes. Other times, everything has to fall away. Everything. Okay. So the current shift is what you have realized recently. Is that, like for me, I was holding on to things that no longer matched who I was becoming. And it wasn't just a physical, it was my identity. And I'm just going to share now a little bit of stuff that's happened in the last literally 24 hours for me. Wow, the tears, right? It started yesterday on that call out of nowhere. I'm like, oh, what is that? Right. And it just kept flowing. And this morning, I actually put on this beautiful song that I love. And it was like full blown torrential crying from the gut, right? A full release. Because that woman, that identity, the one who's got me here, she's been through so much. I'm talking so much that most people really have no idea. I know. And it was like, wow, I've come back to self. I've remembered. And this going home is literally meaning remembering who I am, going back to North America. That is my true roots. And sometimes when we go and we do these things and we're in this other world and in this other country, and I've loved it, but I haven't always loved it. I faked it. I moved my life, sold my business, sold my house, sold everything. And I was torn for all those years that I couldn't actually even acknowledge in my soul, in my mind. And this is what's coming up for me. How much I abandoned myself in this time. I'm not really being able to speak the way I want to speak, be the way I want to be. And it's like remembering now. And that's when you know you're in this quantum leap because of so many things happening. Okay. So the identity now is like, she's in. I have literally embodied it. And when you call in, so I'm talking about expansion. I'm talking about you're here for this standard, the millionaire standard. It is encompassing so many things that you can't just get from a masterclass, right? Because it's being in the shoes, it's being in the daily actions. But what we say and want matters. Where we're living inside the same environment, right? We're in the same patterns. We're making these same decisions. That's not getting the results that you want. So your business will never outgrow the life you're willing to live. So I acknowledged and I knew and I embodied that this year was 2.5 million for me. I feel it. I see it. I know it. So what has to change? Many things. And that's what I love so much about all of this work that I do. So another great experience that happened yesterday was, so this morning and yesterday I was expanding and then I came back and I was like, okay, Yvonne. So I started and I went to get boxes and on the road called a friend who's been in another state and she was back and she's had some running issues. Oh my goodness. It was just like, oh, wow. She lives so much in fear of her life. She was trying to convince me, why am I leaving? Are you sure, Yvonne? You've been here. We all, you belong here. And I said to her, I said, your family, are you close to your family? Do you get to see them? Oh, yes. I said, I haven't seen my family. I live so far away. And that still didn't resonate with her. She still was trying to convince me. And I actually had to cut her off, right? I had to just say, hey, I'm getting boxes. Let's chat. We'll catch up on the weekend. And I can tell you right now, there's no catching up. We're done. I cannot be around that energy. I cut off very fast. When you want dreams and you have big dreams and you're in a life that you want and you're not having it yet, I'm telling you right now, that's where it matters. The people you surround yourself matters. Being on calls like this, it matters. You will quantum leap your life faster being around this energy. Okay. Woo, I just got goosebumps. Did you feel that energy? Did you feel that? Pop that in the chat. I really want to know if you could feel that energy as I said that. Energy is everything. Energy is how your life changes fast. Energy is trust, right? The faith. Not seeing any of it. You don't know what's going to happen, right? I literally was getting ready. I was sitting here and I was being present before I get on this call, and I was thinking about all this stuff. And I was like, wow, like I am just such in a quantum leap. Like I just see it. I see signs everywhere. And then all of a sudden I get this video, and it was, let me just think of their names again. I posted it on my Insta. Mel Robbins and a whole bunch and a couple of other really multimillionaire, like influential people saying, you've got to be willing to go for it. So the expansion in your life is in all parts. And we talked about it yesterday. Like you guys know, you said, I feel like I am a 1%. You can be the 1%. We are in a limitless world. So why aren't you being 1%? And the thing that I know the most is doing it in the right, with the right people, right? Because when you're not confident in yourself, where do you draw on the confidence? You've got to draw on someone that is in a higher level of confidence, a higher level of identity and experience to guide, to support. The sport is everything. If I didn't have my friends that are in this higher state, the multimillionaires and billionaires, like we check in. There's a girlfriend and I going through exactly the same thing, leaving countries. She's in Switzerland and we're both aligned in this whole transformation and moving. It's just so beautiful. So I started making different decisions, letting go of what felt heavy, choosing what expands me, not what's familiar anymore. So where in your life is familiar, and where are you not allowing yourself to be? We're an army of one that get to choose. Moving boldly in life to have the dreams you want. As I said, I'm not building this business anymore. I'm building a life where I move, where I experience, where I feel alive. Are you feeling alive? Are you feeling inspired? And I let my business rise to meet me there. When we are rising in our life and our business, there's a time. We don't know when that's going to happen, what we want. It can feel so scary, right? I have jumped in, like I am now fully in the move. I know what I'm creating. I know my furniture is going to all sell. My car is going to sell. I'm only packing what is necessary. This is not my first time traveling overseas, moving overseas. So when you are in decisions, so literally I walked around yesterday and I was like, this is all brand new furniture. I moved into this house last year. When did I move in here? November, actually 2024. I bought all new furniture. I got rid of everything. And here I am moving. And the big thing about it is that, first of all, the electricity is completely different than North America. So you can't take any of it, right? New washer, dryer, new fridge, all of it. Can't use it. But even more than that is that I weighed out the cost to store, because I moved my entire house in 2003. So when I moved here from Toronto, Canada, I had a container full of my house. I had better new furniture than the person I was marrying. And so I brought all my furniture. I don't remember what it cost. Even back then, I was talking to how much things have changed. Back then, with traveling interstate, you couldn't even pack your house. You couldn't touch anything. There had to be a moving company that did it to make sure there wasn't anything, that it was all legal. Like, I remember getting out of the house and thinking, this is the best move ever. I don't pack a thing. I just walked away with a suitcase. It was absolutely incredible. And they still do that, right? You can get that service, but it was a requirement. I could not have moved interstate countries without having, it all has to be go through quarantine and everything, right? It has to be through the whatever that's called. You know what I mean, though. So all of a sudden yesterday, I started to think about, how much is a container if I was going to ship a container to California? Like a container or a box, doesn't matter. I went in, so the one that I have booked, so I want to share this because it's really fun stuff. The one that I have, I can get 80 boxes in, certain size. And then I had a quote for furniture. I went, well, there's no heck I'm bringing that. Because it wasn't worth it. I'd be paying double the price. So of course I'm not taking it, which I already knew. It just qualified. It was just like, of course, of course. Even putting stuff in my container now, which is really going to be a lot of clothes and shoes, and it's your personal items, you know, my Chanel print. There'll be things that absolutely I want. And whatever that may cost, which is probably going to be around $3,000 to get it over there. And then I'm storing everything. Do you see how we move differently as millionaires? Some people would, there's just different things that we do in a way, in a certain way. So in your life right now, where are you holding on? Where are you not allowing yourself to expand? I mean, this is leadership, right? When we are leading in our business, you're leading yourself, but others. So this isn't just about me, right? It's the way I live. It's the choices I make. It's the environments I place myself in. That becomes the standard for the women in my world. Did you have anything, Tracy? I'm going to ask if there's anything you want to say. I just feel this gap right now. And I feel that, no, you've had quite a little experience happen lately. And I think it would be really great to share it.
Well, I think that when you are when you act in a certain way because you've changed your identity, things change in your life, like we have talked about. So, as much as you don't think you're calling things in, you are manifesting, like you said. I had some contrast happen to me in the last week that brought to light my identity has shifted um, into a higher being and into something different. And I received something that, like Camilla said, she quit her job, for full transparency to Alicia and Camilla. um, I was laid off from a job that I had for 3.5 years. And that's because I've been working with Yvonne and my identity had shifted into a higher identity. I was embodying Tracy 20K is what I call her, Tracy Michelle. And, and working with you, Yvonne, it really transpired into this higher level thinking, into this higher person. And my energy was different, my vibration was different. And so I think that, I know that I'm expecting something different. When that contrast happened, it was almost a release. It was an energy of peace because I know that something better is out there and I have faith. I'm holding the faith and I'm embodying Tracy differently. I'm talking differently. I am acting different. I'm breathing different. Um, yeah, Alicia, right? It was a
Love
blessing
it.
in disguise. Exactly. And that's why we surround ourselves with this type of energy. People are like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, don't be sorry. It's actually wonderful and I'm okay. It's going to be okay. I believe in a higher being. I believe in God. And I know that He would not put this in my path if something better wasn't out there. And that's why, again, we're working together to create this different identity. And I know that in the short period of time, you've already seen my identity shift and you've seen um, my vibration just be different out there. And so we talk about this of who are you? Well, I'm no longer that Tracy that makes an income that a 9 to 5 job person makes. I'm Tracy Michelle that makes 20K a month. And even just today, walking around in my old neighborhood, people are like, wow, you seem different. You look great.
It's the
You,
sign.
this this lady yesterday, I'm walking past her, and she was stopped, and she's like, go ahead." And I walked past her, and she goes, "You're glowing," and I'm like, "What?" She said, "You're glowing. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it." And I'm like, "Well, that's funny because I was actually just crying because I was shedding. I was shedding being in my old neighborhood and shedding just, it comes up like yesterday for you." So she gets out of her car. I happen to be sitting here right now. She goes into her car. She goes, "I carry these in my car for people and I want you to have it." And she goes, I want to give you some love." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, how, like, is that not a sign that, like, just the right things are happening? And when you least expect them." And so now I have this beautiful heart that reminds me that I am glowing, that I am in the right space, and my identity is shifting. So um, it is a beautiful thing, and um, it takes time to process, and sometimes those old thoughts come up. But because I'm in the work, those thoughts last for about 5 seconds, whereas they used to last for 5 hours, sometimes days. Those thoughts of "I'm not enough," or "look at what happened to me. What am I going to do now?" The fear, the doubt, those last for very short periods of time now because I know that I am where I'm meant to be and blessings are happening. And I have faith. I have faith in the process that we're out there to serve in a higher way.
And the transformation you've had since we started working is just incredible. Like your energy, I keep telling you, your energy is just so different, so much lighter, so much. And when we are changing like this is where we become the match. This is where the clients come in. Everything shifts for you. But there's a time, like you got to realize you can't be holding and chasing when it's going to happen. And that's why holding and being in this room, having someone hold that space for you matters. It matters more than anything. I wouldn't be going through what I'm going through if I didn't have my community holding me. There is no way. Do I think the same result would have come? Yes. But maybe it would have been in 2 years from now, and I would have felt even more that I abandoned myself. That's where I was crying from today. Today, I was like, you have abandoned yourself again, Yvonne. In a way of knowing I couldn't leave, though, because I had my dog. So I gave myself grace there, but I knew it. I knew it in my soul 2 years ago. This wasn't for me anymore. And I ignored it. I could have probably 2 years ago probably got my dog onto the other side. See how things can shift when we go, that intuition. Does everyone understand? Do you feel, I know Tracy does, I know Alicia, you do. Camilla, do you feel that intuition in your body? Do you know what that is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
And leaning it more and more.
sorry?
Leaning into it more and more because
Yeah,
it kinda came along with the quantum leaping and it kind of all goes together is what I'm finding
it
out.
does. And when you listen to that, so it's like anything in life. It's the first, when you feel like, oh, I would love that. That's it. Boom. It only lasts like 20 seconds and then your brain goes into fear. This is what I help you do because you've got to make the move. The more you wait, the more you stall. The more your life stalls. I stayed in my marriage out of fear. 10 years, ladies. If I didn't learn those lessons, I'd be doing it again. And as soon as Sasha was gone, I was like, this is it. I'm going. No more. I sat with a girl, and this is really funny. Okay, this isn't funny. This is a really good story. So I had a really good friend. She was one of my closest friends where I lived in Australia. It's called a place called Newcastle. And her and I were at a bar having a drink. And I said, am I going to stay in this marriage or am I going to have an affair? What am I going to do? I said those words. I know I would never have an affair, but at the time I thought about it because I was so unhappy. We never talked about it again. Never came up, never, just ignored the thought, ignored the voice, ignored the gut, and it went away. And it took 6 years for that marriage to disappear. And here's where the better story comes. Okay, this is really good. Go listen to this one. So what happened from that story was that my good friend actually ended up leaving her husband because she saw me finally get the chains off and start to get my life back. And she was doing the same. So she separated, and she started dating immediately. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, you've just separated. And she was together forever, like longer than me, because they had kids. So it would have been 30 years. Anyway, it was so fun. So anyway, she ends up dating this guy, and she's just all in. This is the guy now. You know, she's away with him all the time. And now she's ignoring me, and she's treating me like I'm nothing. And she had been coming. I love this story so much because it only came to me. So God wanted me to see this, to remind myself of who I am. So I haven't seen her. I cut her off too, right? I was in therapy with a counselor for my divorce because it was I needed to speak to someone, and she was amazing. And she said to me at that time, this friend is probably someone you need to let go of. And I said, if I let go of her, I will have no friends where I was. But time got to a point where I said to myself, it's time to let go. And I wished her well. And, you know, and I just let it go. And when she was dating this guy, I remember she said, I said, just stay, be alone. She'd never been alone. And she said, I need someone to love me. I said, you need to love yourself. You are the person that needs to love yourself. You have to be enough in your own life, your worthiness, your self-trust, your everything in life. You don't outsource that to someone else to love you. This is a really important part of expansion, right? Like everything has got to be, you've got to feel like a whole woman in every way. Love yourself and gratitude for yourself, the shoes that you're walking in, the life that you're living. Anyway, she went and married this person. And all of a sudden I get an email from my LinkedIn account, and I see that she's watched one of my stories or something, a post. I was like, that's interesting. So I went onto Facebook. We're not friends anymore. And she's now single. So these are the lessons that we get when we're not being our truth and we're not speaking our truth, and we're looking for something that's going to make us happy. We're looking for something that we think we want. And it can be in business as well, right? Chasing, you think you need to chase something. You think you need to be doing more in business, and your business isn't expanding as fast as you want. That is not going to bring it faster to you. What brings it faster to you is you. Is you holding your presence, you centered in your life, and know that you are enough and you are the magnet of everything you desire. As Tracy stepped into that, when we're out of alignment. So alignment means your true calling. I was out of alignment in my marriage. We could have ended it so much earlier. It would have been so less painful, right? For both of us. He was a beautiful man. We were tried, just didn't work, and it got ugly. But I love all of it, right? But if we would have had better communication, lessons we needed to learn, we could have had this conversation 10 years early. In life, it's the same. It's like, how do you love yourself? Your business is a reflection of you. Your energy is a reflection of you. Your whole life is your mirror. Does that hit hard?
Sure did.
I love that you pop in and speak. Yeah. I just get goosebumps all the time, right? Because the work that we do is not external. The work that we do in all of my programs is internal. And Tracy's growth, it's all about the growth. Expansion is growth. More money is growth. More anything is growth. But you have to learn the lessons, otherwise they repeat. And we don't want to repeat, do we? When you hear a story that like mine, like, you know, being with somebody and, you know, together for 20 years, and people say it wasn't all that hard. It wasn't. We had beautiful moments, but it was never easy. It's not my marriage was not normal, right? I did the thing that most people don't do. I went and married a man and moved countries. So I did that. That's because I'm a 1%, right? And we had beautiful time together. I learned a lot. I got to live in this beautiful country in Australia. There's so many blessings. And now I'm listening to my intuition. Now I'm saying, I don't belong here anymore. My heart is not here anymore. I want more in life. I want expansion. So I'm doing it again. So in our life, when you're doing it on your own, you don't see the signs. You don't see where you should, you know, it's just this, you can get stuck in such a fear base, right? And it's life. But when you just go fully in on yourself and have the support, and I talk about support because I know what it's been like for me. I know what Tracy experiences. I know what other clients experience. They do more when you're surrounded with those right people. And your life and your business will shift really fast. A quantum leap is like the miracle of everything, but it's also the storm in the middle. Sometimes but I stay in tune with that. It's just bringing me closer to exactly what I want. So what are you calling in for yourself right now in your business, in your life? Because I don't want to just make money. I want to make an impact on others, where women realize that they get to have everything. You get to sit here and desire and have everything you desire, because it is literally waiting for you. But you can't do it where you are right now. There's a lot of expansion in that identity and growth that needs to come before you match it. Does that make sense with matching? There's an energy, right? We're energy beings. So the life that I'm building, right? It isn't separate from my business. We're intertwined as entrepreneurs. Even when you have your own business, if you're a real estate agent, I'm trying to remember, there's lots of different people that have come into this masterclass, right? Doesn't matter if you have a business. When I had my event planning business, I was in flow. I still built that business in 2 years to over 1 million, with a revenue over $500,000 more. I was very good. I am very good at business. So something to think about is, you know, what you're realizing where you are right now when you start to change. Not everyone around you understands it. I have a client where there's been times where her relationship has suffered in it, right? Because she wants more. Her husband's like, okay, no, this is what it is. She wants $1 million and she hates debt because I don't want any debt. Her husband is like, we can get a bank loan so we can do more with our business and grow it. All she thinks about is debt. And I said to her, debt is good. It is still money. The bank is giving you money, honey. Right? It's giving you the money to do what you want to do, and your husband wants to expand, and you're saying no to him. Credit cards are a beautiful resource of money. Do you use your credit cards? Share it below. Everybody uses them. How do you look at your credit card? I am so grateful for my credit cards. There was a time in my life, if I didn't have my credit cards, I'm telling you right now, I don't know what I would have done. It was a big, it was huge for me. I can feel though that you paid them up, but I feel there's resistance around money and having credit cards, Alicia. Okay. Debt is good. It's not debt, first of all. It's using your money in a different way. Do you know all millionaires, we get money from the bank so we can do more. You get money when you get a house, right? The bank is supporting you to buy a house. Would you say no to that? Of course not. You want a house. You put down whatever it is, and the bank says, here you go, you've got a loan. This is how much it is. I say, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me tell you, millionaires, they are investing and they get the bank, they're getting multi-millions. You think Grant Cardone, you think of all these billionaires. Let me tell you, the bank is running the shows. They can have anything they want, so they get to use it in another way. That's right. Money is supposed to circulate. This is a whole other masterclass. But money's in flow. We are the money. This is when we become whole. This is wealth consciousness. I think that might be another masterclass coming. I love talking about money so much. So be grateful for the credit cards. Be grateful for the money that you have. That's part of being the millionaire standard. And if you're missing that bit, you're never going to be the millionaire. Never. Okay? That's a no-go. Any hesitation, any thoughts of debt, any of that, you will never be a millionaire. Because your mindset isn't in the millionaire, taking and using money. And I'm just being direct because I don't fluff around. I understand money very, very well. How to use it, how to let it go. You have to be willing to understand that you go all in yourself and that your bank account was to be at zero, that you know and trust it will refill. How many of you can do that? I did it. That's how I know it. Back in whatever years, I was traveling to come to Australia, my first trip ever. I think it was my first trip. And have I shared this yesterday? I don't think I did. So what happened was I was coming to Australia. I think it was for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, 2 weeks. I think I was booking it for 2 weeks. And it was to meet my ex-partner. And my grandmother was in the hospital. So I had to go to the bank first to get some cash, the bank teller, the machine. And then I was going to go to the hospital to see my grandmother before I went away because she was really sick, really not well. Anyway, I went to get the money out of the bank and I put my card in. It said no funds. Like there was some weird message on the teller. It was weird. I just thought, that's weird. Then I had to find a bank along the drive and go, okay, where's the closest Royal Bank at the time? And, you know, back then, there was no Google Maps or anything. But I knew there was one coming up. So I had to get out of my car, go make this thing, go into the bank, wait in line, all the things, you know, and I'm looking at the clock the whole time thinking time is clicking. I was getting on an international flight. I go into the bank, I give her my card. I said, I don't know why it's not working, but I want to take out some money. And she says, I'm sorry, it's closed. I can't do anything about it. The government has a lien on your accounts. I was like, a lien on my accounts? Okay, all right. So what do I do? What do you think I do? I just get back into my car and I don't have time now to go see my grandmother. So I was like really sad by that, but now it was time. I had to get to the airport because I got to be there like 3 hours before back then to check in. So I had to go straight to the airport. And it wasn't, I don't know when I talked to, and remember back then in 2000, because it was in 2000 I came here. We had check accounts, like literally you wrote checks. Okay. There was no transfers or any of the things that had happened now. And and what happened, and I don't know if I figured this out before I left or if it was when I landed. I had my accountant, my bookkeeper. I was in an audit with the government and I owed money. So we were sending them monthly checks. He forgot to send the monthly check. They went into all of my bank accounts, my RSPs, my US account, and they took every single penny. Do you know what my state of being was? No thoughts, no worry. I just kept going, had a blast in Australia. Obviously, I had my some money in my business account because I had incorporated. They can't touch your incorporated business. So I had money there, but everything else was taken. And I've actually spoken to someone that had the same thing and she actually got it taken. She got the money back, but I just let it go. I just let it go and I didn't even think about it and I rebuilt it all. That is money. That is understanding wealth consciousness. So it's a really fun story, right? So how would you feel knowing that money is always supposed to be coming in and cutting out? But when you fear it and you're blocking it and you're holding on to it, you are kinking all abundance. Fun, isn't it? And this is all part of identity. Something's happened. It's all identity. So don't think it's you. It's not. It can be broken and cleared and become an open vessel to all abundance. So do you want to be an open vessel and allow everything, all your expansion, your identity, everything to come with flow? This is where people build businesses within a year and hit $1 million. I've just seen someone that I follow and she's done in this year 800,000. Using these laws, using what I coach and teach on. So your life is all that you are. It's the mirror of who you are. So when I have these conversations with my friends here that I love dearly, and all they want to do is be in fear for me. Are you sure you should leave? Maybe you'll come back. And I'm like, no, I'm gone. And then one friend's like, you know, trying to tell me, oh, this was even funnier. So I believe that my partner has been waiting for me. And as soon as I get into California, he's going to appear And he's going to say, I've been waiting for you. And I said to her something about this, and she goes, you don't need a man. I don't want you doing that. And here she's trying to tell me, because she's going through a divorce of a very, very unhappy marriage as well. And she's in such a story in her life. And I said, I am very open to having a man come into my life who is American, who's bringing me into that world. Thank you so much. I am open to receive. Okay. See how the people I surround myself with, the standard that I'm at, has gotten to a whole new level, a completely different level. That I have now realized that these next few weeks that I'm here, I will be in my own space, in my own belief system of who I am. Because it matters very, very much in your life, in my outcome. Not my outcome. I control all that, right? But for yourselves, where you are, this is very new, and it doesn't just shift like that for most people, as Tracy's explained, right? When you go through some things, it can feel so unsettling and so fearful. And I know, Alicia, you know, you said you're moving, going to Beverly Hills, which is so beautiful. You also got laid off in June. Laid off in June. What month are we in? That was last year. Sorry, trying to think what month. You're making me think. Are we in June? I should be in California. This is where our identity is controlling everything. And it needs to be in a new identity, in a new way of being her. As Tracy has shifted so quickly into, she's jumped a few levels in her identity. And she is now in a very clean, confident, calm state of being. Do you feel that from her? Everything is waiting for you. Seriously waiting for you. It's the decisions we make. It's the leadership. And you have to outgrow the version of you that you're at now. I've outgrown the version of me. Hence why I'm crying. Probably why Tracy's crying. Going back to the past, into a town you lived in. It's like an old version, right? It can be emotional. So that's what I'm grieving now. I'm grieving this old version that I'm letting go of. Like, whew, you've been through a lot, girl. I love her to bits, and I'm safe though. And you've done your job, right? This is why your environment matters so much. Because who you surround yourself with, by the people who don't understand your next level, they will unintentionally keep you where you're at. With love. So you got to be really careful, right? It's that careful who you surround yourself. You don't want to shrink yourself, shrink your vision. You want to stay connected to people who don't understand 3D world and understand that you can have it all. And I've always had support in my life. Even when I built my $1 million business, they were my clients helping me. They were all my mentors. They wanted more from me than I even knew I wanted, what I wanted. So what are you wanting right now? What are you wanting for the end, for this year? What is your vision for yourself? Pop it. I'd love to know, what is your vision for this year? What does that look like for you? My biggest shifts in my life happened when I wasn't sitting in my own head, right? It's where I got out. I was around the right people that held me in my truth, in my higher self. Yes, Tracy. They're beautiful seasons, right? That we've all had, and you've acknowledged them. And let me tell you, that 20K a month is just around the corner for you. Beautiful, Alicia. I love that. What about you, Camilla?
I kept typing and then deleting and then typing and deleting. But because it's like I know what I want, but then I'm like, well, I don't know, because of course that doubt comes in, right? But what I want is to be fully walking in my purpose, and which is helping people, which is the business, and letting my life and business flow as one, as you said yesterday. That's what I want.
I love that. I love that so much. And wanting is the start of anything in life. We have to want more. You do. Where are you talking about, Alicia?
Oh, I told her I have a store in Santa Monica, Yvonne, because
Oh, beautiful.
yeah. And I said, I'd look forward to keeping in touch with you.
I love that.
Um,
Yes. Because Alicia was really supposed to come to our little one-to-one, or not one-to-one, our little
oh,
and I remember I told you that someone had reached out, and I didn't swing back. There was just so much happening, and I didn't swing back, but it wasn't right for her, and it wasn't meant for her, right? Always know that timing is everything, and there's no such thing as time. When you release time from anything, all things in your life, you are going to just live in the being of it. When you are attached to, I need to make money, I need to make 100,000, I need to make $10,000 this month so I can pay this, you will not receive it. You've got to allow it to unfold. It's this feeling, right? But I love that. So let me tell you, as soon as I get myself sorted and I know what time, we will be having a live event in Santa Monica. So, which will be so beautiful. I'm looking forward to the next one, because it'll be more of a some sort of training that I'll do, because in person it's different. In person you feel that energy, even though you're here, but Tracy felt it. Yeah, so beautiful. And the 3 other people that joined, it was so beautiful. And I know for me, I'm missing it again. Why I want to be over there, I'm missing the connection that I get to meet everybody. So it's going to be so beautiful. So wanting is the first place, right? We have to want more to be able to receive it. So I love that for everyone. And what I was going to share before we start wrapping up here is that being in the right place, do you feel like you're in the right place right now? It matters so much. Like, when did you sign up for the masterclass? Was it 2 weeks ago? I'm trying to think how long I've been talking about it. Like, did you sign up when you saw the email? Did you wait before you signed up? Like, what was the actions? I'd love to know this, because this is so important in your identity right now, right? Your belief. Did you sign up right away?
I didn't. I saw it and I was like, oh, I love that. That sounds amazing. And then I moved on to the next email. And then I saw another one. I said, yeah, I probably should look into this. Like, I need to look into it. And so as I looked into it, I said, okay, I'm going to do this. But at first, no, I didn't do it right away.
That's okay. Sometimes it takes 2 nudges, 3 nudges, right? But you allowed yourself to feel it. You allowed yourself to see it again. And then all of a sudden, the nudge was like, you've got to do this. You've got to jump into this. And it's beautiful because, yes, Alicia, fantastic. I'm the type of person that I know most times if something is aligned right away. And I'm the type of person, okay, so this is very much about a standard of who you are being. And I love this one so much because it's really, really important. I've always been a pay in full woman, always. I was like that way before. I fell out. Now, when I haven't been paid in full was when I was going through transitions to remember who I was. I had fear around money, ladies, okay? A very, very deep-rooted fear from my marriage and getting out of it because of situations that happened. So I understand money very, very well. I had to start to remember who I was around money. And then as soon as I started to step into it and I started that trust, I was like paying full. Sometimes, depending on what it is, if it makes no difference to pay in payment because it's no different. Like here, if I'm paying, I think it was for my roadside, my car to drive a car, I take the 6-month payment, 1 6 month and then another 6 months because it doesn't matter, right? That's different. But how we use money and how we show up and go, oh, you know what? I'm going to jump into this. Yep, I'm doing this. And what was your intention, Camilla? How did you feel when you came into when you said yes to joining the Millionaire Identity? Did you come in saying, this is great, I'm going to get great stuff from this? Or did you come in with like, I wonder what this is going to be about?
So I do want to say the first time I said no was because I said, well, it's probably too much. And so I moved on to the next email.
Okay.
And so the second time I said, well, just look, just take a look. And I was like, you can afford that. You're going to do this. So that's why I just moved on. And that is because you just asked, what was I expecting? It's because I literally was reading that like, oh my goodness, like this is for somebody who's already well ahead in their business, and you start to make excuses for yourself for why you can't do it. So that's what started happening as well. And then I was like, but this is who I want to be, so I have to look. And so once I clicked the link, I said, oh yes, you're doing this.
Yeah, yes, fantastic. And what happened was that you had a expectation. You put on an expectation that you wouldn't be able to afford it. And this is, yes?
That's correct.
Right. And this is what we do in your life. Imagine that. Okay. And I love that so much. I love that so much. It's so beautiful. Imagine if you would have expected that no matter what it costs, you were doing it.
Exactly.
That is the abundance, right? That is where you step into wealth consciousness and you trust, and the money is always going to show up. And when you are open to receiving that, you watch money start flowing in. Okay. That is the abundance. That is being open to receive. It's like when I walked into this house, right? So I sold my house 2 years ago and I didn't want to buy. I didn't want to have that pressure around it. And to be honest, I just wanted cash flow. I had things I wanted to do in my life and invest in different things. So when I came into this house and it was like so abundant, it was my next identity. I knew it as soon as I walked in here. And I said, I told her I was able, and this is what I would love to spend. We pay weekly rent here. It's not monthly. And she's like, okay, well, the owner's really, she's flexible. So it's not just on how much. And then when she offered me the property, which was literally the day that I was packing my house up, like seriously, the same day, I'm like, oh, they want me to be in the house. And the first thing she said is that, but the owner will not drop the price. So it's still sitting at whatever it was listed as. And I said, yeah, okay. I said, can I just come back to you? I said, I'm literally packing my house. And and what was so bizarre, I went into, I got my furniture and I put it in, and I said to her, can I come and look at the house again? I walked into the house and it was just like, oh my God, I love this house, right? Like you just know when you love something. And I said, yes, I'm open to this. This is going to be a new level of identity. We were standing outside the driveway, and she's like, Yvonne, no pressure, you know, we would love you to have it, but please don't, you know, it's okay if you don't want it. I said, I want it. I want it. I'm all in. And I stepped into a higher frequency, something that was uncomfortable for me, right? Financially, I was like, whew, no, I'm stepping into her. And that's what changes in your life. So congratulations anyway for stepping into this, both of you, Alicia, and everyone else that's watching that has stepped into this and watching the replays now, because your highest self is showing up and she is wanting more. And now it's about you stepping into it fully, not partially, fully. Are you ready to step into it fully? Because you look at, you want to create an impact. I love what you're doing, Alicia, helping women, right? Coaching them one-to-one in group. I know for you, Camilla, maybe you're not sure what that looks like yet, which is so beautiful. It's this part of your life that you are unfolding, and it's beautiful, all of it. So today's this is such a beautiful opening for all of you. Do you feel the space opening for you, where you're being held, where you're having this feeling of, wow, I could do everything I desire? Because here's the truth. You already know what you want. As soon as you've seen a vision in your mind, it is done. Does that make sense? I got to sneeze any minute here. That vision that you've had. Excuse me. So if you had a vision about something, had a vision of, like Alicia's maybe had a vision that she wants to live in Beverly Hills, and you know a house and you know it, that is it. It is done. It is your self that will either go, sorry. Your vision is, once it's been seen in the vision of your mind, it is done. Beautiful. You know, before we go, I have one more beautiful story to share. I only realized it today. So I changed my vision board a couple of weeks ago. I was thinking I may win. Okay, this is just something fun. There was a dream home, and it was literally giving it away in a draw here in Australia. They do this often. And I bought $50 worth of tickets, and I was just sitting in this house, and I got the photo of the house and I put it on my new vision board. And it was so beautiful, and I could see myself in it. And I wasn't going to, though, keep it. If it was my house, I was going to rent it out. And but here's what was so beautiful that I realized today. I looked at my vision board, because I've changed my vision board already from that house, because it's no longer. That vision board was the house that I went and was at in my inner circle in California. It was almost identical the way it looked. Isn't that beautiful? So sometimes the things that we are expecting come up in a different way. And it was so beautiful. It was just like, oh my gosh, that was the house I manifested. See how beautiful that was? So sometimes it comes up in such a different way. I love that. Thank you for the heart. So tomorrow, wow, tomorrow's going to be really, it's just like, this is the work, right, ladies? Everything that we're doing today and yesterday, it's you trusting yourself. It's you and your higher self, because you can have everything you desire. And because you know what you want, right? But knowing and choosing are two different things. And tomorrow we're going to talk about it. We're going to go and get into what that is. All right? Because who you're actually being right now and the decisions you're making from, because that's the part most women avoid, right? Because it requires you to be totally honest from your heart, from your soul, from who you're being. And it's going to be so, so beautiful tomorrow. Okay. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for the unfolding. And thank you so much for being here. So beautiful. Have a great night, everyone.
Thank you. Have a good day.
See you, you too. Bye. Perfect. See you tomorrow.